The dumbest bill in America, and it is in Minneapolis. The City Council of Minneapolis has banned, wait for it, banned drive-thrus. Like drive-thrus at banks, drive-thrus at fast food, drive-thrus at pharmacies. Well, gee, you know, coronavirus, you might get coronavirus, so you don't want to go in the CVS pharmacy or whatever pharmacy that you go to, so they have a drive-thru. They want to ban them, and they have banned them. So moving forward, in the city of Minneapolis, you cannot build a new drive-thru. The existing ones are grandfathered in. Oh, how nice are they to grandfather those in? And so, I'm sorry, these are stupid people. These are incredibly stupid people. Warren, I want your thoughts on this banning trend of the woke Democrats of drive-thrus.
So much for convenience. I mean, these things exist for a reason. You're on the go. You don't want to take the time to park, walk in. If you're elderly and you're picking up a prescription, you know, this is one less thing you can do. And you might catch a coronavirus while you're inside of the pharmacy, like you said. So
yeah, there's a reason we have drive-thrus.
It's just, it's power drunk people pushing ridiculous ideas. And I think you were telling me some of this has to do with global warming.
It does. The guy, so Lisa Bender, she's the city council president in Minneapolis. Her name is Lisa Bender for everybody out there. She's an idiot. Complete progressive, crazy person. She said it's because of climate change, because cars idle when they're in the line at the drive-thru, and that idling contributes to climate change. It's like, well, how about if you have a Tesla? Does that not, I mean, you know, there might be a Tesla in line, so, but even beside that, who does she think she is to tell the private sector that they can't have a drive-thru? I mean, go ahead. Millennials, I mean, please tell me millennials aren't on to, you know, I think Lisa Bender probably is a millennial, but I can't tell.
I mean, I really hope not.
I couldn't tell how old she is. She just looks crazy.
I mean, they say this is a part of their goal to reduce emissions by 50%, I think, by 2050, but they never say actually how much this reduce emissions by. They never actually give a quantifiable number to say how much it actually reduces by. I think the secondary reason they gave is they say it increases car crashes, drive-thrus do. But they don't really give any data behind that as well. This is just taking control to another level, not only with sick people, but if you're a family with kids with disabilities, I mean, it's so much more of a convenience, obviously, to go through the drive-thru.
Drive-thru. And a lot of times, these vans are equipped in such a way that the person with the disability, sometimes a very severe disability, can drive the van themselves.
Exactly.
And they can't, you know, it's much easier to go through the drive-thru. That's a great point.
To go in and out, exactly.
I mean, the thing is, so look, we actually have a clip on this, but I have to set this clip up about the banning of drive-thrus. So there are two Burger Kings in Minneapolis that were closed because the franchisor Burger King took them back because they weren't being run properly. So Burger King had them boarded up, and while they're trying to find a new franchise operator. So both Burger Kings remained boarded up. They both, of course, had drive-thrus. This law passed to ban drive-thrus. And Burger King's argument was, we should be grandfathered in. And the city council said, oh no, we banned that. You're not grandfathered in because you closed your Burger Kings. They said, yeah, but we still own the property, or we're still leasing the property. We have these long-term leases.
Still paying taxes on it.
Still paying taxes on it. And so the media in Minneapolis went out to near where these Burger Kings are located and interviewed the locals who live there, primarily in African-American communities.
Probably in food deserts.
In food deserts.
One of the only places they can get food.
Probably so. Great point, Warren. And the media interviewed these folks. They're all African-American. And they were like, why don't you open this? Back up. This is ridiculous. This drive-thru ban. We have a clip on this. It's a little long. It's about 1 minute and 20 seconds. It's worth listening to. And here it is.
The Burger King on West Broadway in North Minneapolis is boarded up, graffiti tagged with a raggedy tarp dangling from the marquee sign.
Yeah, it would be nice to not see it boarded up.
It's been this way for months. The restaurant closed more than a year ago.
So do something with it.
The same goes for the Burger King on Nicollet Avenue in South Minneapolis.
It hurts the community because now you have an elephant sitting there hoping somebody come and invest in the property and say, okay, let's get this back going.
Even though Burger King now wants to reopen the two locations with a new franchisee, the city of Minneapolis will not allow it because of the city's no drive-thru ordinance.
All those in favor say aye.
When the city council passed the ordinance in August, they grandfathered in restaurants like these Burger Kings that already had drive-thrus. But since the building sat empty for more than a year, the Zoning Board of Adjustment ruled they now will have to follow the new rules, leaving some people baffled.
City need to be quiet. For real. They need to open that back up.
Because of convenience, you have people with handicaps that don't want to get out their car. I mean, cold weather like this in Minnesota, it is below zero. Some people, you have kids in the car. So to me, it's a very inconvenience.
The city also heard from supporters of the ordinance who say the drive-thrus create traffic dangers for pedestrians, noise, and pollution from idling cars.
Oh my gosh, it creates pollution. Oh my gosh, and traffic. I mean, how awful. I mean, these people, I got to tell you, these people that run the Minneapolis, they're on the city council, and the president, Lisa Bender, you're crazy and shame on you. You'd rather have basically urban plight and urban blight, and then you would actually help the people in these neighborhoods. And you heard they're actually interviewing the folks on the street. They're saying, let them open. This is where I like going to the Burger King. I like eating there. What do you think, Sam?
I think you're just so disappointed because you love Burger King.
When Burger King first opened, it was probably like 30 years ago. I actually really liked it a lot because it was like because they were char-broiled hamburgers, and that was like a thing. It was never been done before. So yes, sometimes, and I know everybody out there in podcast land is the same way. You drive past a fast food place, you're like, no, I shouldn't. Okay, I'm going to go, and you go through the drive-through. And oh, by the way, they were interviewing the people in the street in Minneapolis, and I got to say this is important. Minneapolis gets really cold. I was there once, and I was there in February, and when I got off the plane and went outside, I felt like my larynx had frozen. I couldn't even talk. It was so cold. Dry, cold air. So naturally, you probably don't want to get out of the car when it's January and February and March in Minneapolis when you go through a drive-through. So look, banning is what you do when you are a Stalinist, in my opinion. If you're someone who wants to innovate, you're going to try something different, and that's just the way the Democrat Party progressives have gone. So, Warren, you have something you want to add to this conversation before we close out.
Well, I'm going to twist on your stupidest bill. This is the stupidest power grab in America.
Oh, I love it.
So, March 13th, in this is an Illinois newspaper, or actually the Washington Examiner. Illinois mayor signs executive order granting power to ban sale of guns and alcohol while addressing coronavirus. Mayor Deborah Frank Finan signed the executive order on Thursday, declaring a state of emergency for the city. The executive order, which is in line with the municipal code, comes with extraordinary powers. So during this crisis, she can ban guns, ammunition, alcohol, and gasoline. So
why alcohol?
I have no idea, but let's talk about this for a minute.
And why gasoline? And why guns?
So if this gets really bad and we get to what we call a state of nature, okay, you know what a state of nature is. It's chaos. There's no government controls or anything.
Yes.
The only thing protecting you and your family from the wolves of the door is a firearm. That's it.
That is a fact.
That's it.
That's a fact.
And so we have this idiot liberal mayor taking our Second Amendment rights, our God-given right to defend ourselves.
And the mayor of which city again?
This is Champaign. I didn't say it. I'm sorry. Champaign, Illinois.
No, that's okay because we want to make sure we call them out on this program, which is great.
Champaign, Illinois.
Literally, basically trying to engage in a massive taking because they have these extraordinary powers. Because they can.
And again, like to your question, alcohol, gasoline. Why are you going to take people's right to have gasoline? What if you need what if the electrical grid's down and you need to have a generator to get electricity and heat?
Or go to the hospital.
Because
of the pandemic.
We're going to ban gasoline?
These people are crazy. They are the party of anti-science. They are. They've become the anti-science party. I mean, and I hope at one point there's a renaissance and they finally wake up. Go ahead, Sam.
I mean, are you going to ride your bike to the hospital?
No, exactly. I can't breathe. I can't pedal. I mean, I can't
you
go to
don't
the
get
hospital.
mugged while you're doing it.
It's unbelievable.
It's insane. I mean, socialism is never an end goal. It's a process. You can always control more. You can always have more welfare, and it's just another example of it.
And that's the last thought on Mark and the Millennials. Thank you for joining Mark and the Millennials. This is Mark Fisher. And I want to thank our Millennial, Sam Fisher, and our delegate, Warren Miller from the Maryland House of Delegates. Of course, our producer, Adam Couture, and our assistant producer, Christopher Hopkins. Join us on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, and our website. See you next time.